I'm no expert, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Kamaru Usman's big head syndrome saved him from an early first round upset stoppage. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that has a big head has some sort of supernatural ability to absorb punishment and blows and not get knocked out and come back. But it seems like there is something to these dudes that have these gold nugget heads atop their necks that are able to just weather these kind of storms. I mean, look, I know there's it's one of those God-given attributes I like to say, like hitting power. Some people just have a harder punch, a harder strike, a more durable chin, so to speak, than their peers, their contemporaries, the people in their respective weight classes. And Usman is one of these guys. He's able to take the punishment. He's able to weather the storm. And then when he starts dishing it out, it just seems like it's a little bit worse than his opponent as far as striking power and as far as durability. I mean, Burns came out amped up and excited, ready to prove to himself and to the world and to Usman that he was the better fighter and that he was capable of becoming champion. And he wasted no time coming out and attacking straight from the opening, right after it's time, right after the announcements. Let's get it on, let's go. He was adrenalized and he was ready to capitalize. And he jumped on Usman and he didn't let up, and he caught him with that overhand right that knocked him down. Usman caught himself on his hands and popped right back up, but that's a knockdown. And it looked like he was sludging through quicksand for a few minutes after that, a few seconds after that. And another clean, solid hit might have just, really, really had him in a bad way. Might have had him in big trouble. But he weathered the storm, and he made it out of the round. And Burns was just wound up and tense, and he was throwing some tight punches, little uppercuts, and just he was ready. He was ready. He had all that energy. He was in the moment, and he was ready to capitalize. And for a minute there, it looked like he might be able to do it. But then in between rounds, as we all know if we saw the fight, is that Usman's corner, one of his coaches told him, use your jab. You became a world champion off that jab. And, like any smart fighter who trusts his team and who has people in his corner that he relies on their advice, he relies on them to see the things that he's not seeing, he relies on them to remind him of the things that one can easily forget when they're caught up in the moment, such a tense situation, such a pressure-filled moment. This is why you have to trust your team. And he had a quarterback who told him, use your jab. And he just started peppering and peppering and peppering with that jab, peppering like Pepper Johnson, peppering like Burns was so much steak ready to be thrown on the preheated skillet, which was Usman's combination punching, which would just later just devastate and finish and just annihilate and plate and feed off of him. He was using that jab beautifully. Now, he had a 76-inch reach compared to Burns' 71-inch reach, and so he had a significant reach advantage, which is where a reach advantage can be utilized is with a weapon like the jab. Now, not only was Usman just using his jab, he was doing something that I think was masterful, and he talked about it afterwards. But I was saying, hey, look at how he's switching the stance. He's going from orthodox to southpaw, very reminiscent of what Marvelous Marvin Hagler used to do during his boxing career. He would set up combinations, and he would never be on the wrong foot because he knew how to set up his jab with either hand, right-handed or left-handed stance. He could fight out of either stance, which is much akin to like a basketball player being able to finish with either the right or the left hand, finger rolls, layups, and dunks. Same thing in fighting. So Usman beautifully switched stances and just utilized that jab and was just picking Burns apart with that jab, setting everything up. And he even knocked Burns down twice with a jab. I think once with the left jab and once with the right jab. And man, there was a moment when Usman caught Burns with the right hand, and you could just like see the fear in Burns' eyes, like, oh shit. He knew it was just the beginning of the end. It was just a matter of time that he was going to get caught with another one of those or something similar to that, a strike he couldn't see coming, and it was going to hurt, and he was going to go down, and that was going to be the end of his championship dream, at least for last night. So it was a good competitive fight. It only lasted that, it was ended within 2 rounds, but there was a lot of emotion to it. And to me, it was good. It was good to see the respect shown afterwards. Usman was able to put aside his friendship and the fact that he and Burns were former teammates, they both were able to set that aside and get themselves accurately and appropriately hyped up for a competitive mind state, a winning mind state, to go in there and defeat somebody that you used to train with, that you know, that you consider a friend. They set the friendship to the side. They came in, they gave the fans a great show, and then after it was all said and done, it was all respect, which is what the martial arts is supposed to be about. You fight somebody, you give them your best, they give you your best. You understand the sacrifice that it takes to get to that point and to compete on the highest level, or any level for that matter, and the mutual respect is given because it's earned, and you can go your separate way and prepare for your next battle. So I'm no expert. I just call it how I see it. But Usman's big head syndrome definitely saved him from the early upset stoppage.